Going to start with the nation. Forex crisis, CBN likely to flood markets with dollar. U.S. presses ECOWAS to pile more pressure on the Niger junta. Customs intercepts ammunition stacked in 20 sacks in Ogun. Air Force probes helicopter shutdown claims by bandits. Otudeko, Tedola Field at center of FBN AGM. First Lady hails Super Falcons for superlative World Cup performance, and the picture is here. And marketers pulled petrol ex-depot price at 600 naira, while Akeredolu's wife, hopeful governor, will return soon. That's exciting. Okay, which story are we starting with? The Nation. Who has any story there? I do. Okay. So this story says operatives of Ogun Area 1 Command of the Nigerian Customs Service intercepted 1,245 rounds of ammunition hidden inside 20 bags of rice. So the story is that this around on Saturday, there were some cars that were intercepted, 5 old vehicles, they said. There were 2 Toyota Camrys and 3 Mazda cars. And in the cars, they were loaded with 203 bags of foreign parboiled rice. And then when they, looked at the bags of rice, they found ammunition hidden within the bags, within 20 of the bags. So they say where they were found was an area just near the exit into Benin Republic. It looked like they were coming into Nigeria, but maybe they had gotten word that there were customs around there, so they abandoned the vehicles and ran into the bushes. So customs was able to investigate, look through it, and found these ammunitions in 20 bags of the 203 foreign parboiled rice bags that they had in the car. So this is good news. I hope that they will get further intelligence so that they're able to arrest these culprits. Where are they taking this to? What is it for? Is it supposed to end up here in Nigeria? And I don't know, are we still allowed to bring in rice, foreign rice, into our country? Has that been lifted?
People still smuggle.
I mean, that they were willing to use foreign rice, and I'm wondering, did they let them bring that in as well? All right, let me take the story from the U.S. The U.S. has endorsed the plans by ECOWAS, or have actually endorsed the steps being taken by ECOWAS to restore democracy to Niger Republic, according to the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. In a statement by his spokesperson, Matthew Miller, said that more pressure should be applied to ensure the release of President Bazoum, and also knowing that his family has been detained, his entire family, I didn't even realize the entire family was detained in the house for this long. According to the statement, he said that the Secretary commended the President Tinubu's leadership on ECOWAS summit. He noted that the importance of maintaining pressure on the National Council for the safeguard of the homeland to restore constitutional order and to see that the president is released. ECOWAS, as you know, has imposed quite a number of economic sanctions on the junta, which yesterday announced its willingness to have a dialogue and discuss with ECOWAS. The coup leaders said that they were gathering evidence enabling them to persecute Bazoum for high treason and undermining the internal and external security of Niger. So it's ongoing, but at least it seems like some of the world leaders are endorsing ECOWAS's move and stance on this. Okay.
So the First Lady salutes Falcons sportsmanship at World Cup. So the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, celebrated the female team, Super Falcons, for their progress, for the progress made at the World Cup. And she had a reception for them at the presidential villa yesterday, celebrating them, noting that they're now role models to the younger girls in Nigeria. And she also went on to say that victory isn't only about scoring on the field, and that their unbreakable spirit and unity demonstrated at the World Cup makes them successful. This is just so beautiful to see for a sportsman to be recognized by people in authority. I also had that experience where I played NUGA, Nigerian University Games basketball in the university.
Okay.
And when we came back, the VC invited us, and it was just like we had made it in life, So seeing the First Lady doing this just makes,
honor is really important.
It is.
So I want to take the story, the major headline about our Forex crisis. Obviously, we know that yesterday, in the official IE window, dollar was going for 730. It was going for about 735. I want to get the figure right. Naira, while at the parallel market, 744 to a dollar at the IE window, and in the parallel market, it was going for 935. And between June, when the Naira was, between June, when the CBN decided to, the government float the Naira, Nigerian Naira has lost about 40% of its value consistently, just within June and August. So we're having a crisis on our hands, and they are trying, the conversation is the CBN governor, the CBN acting governor right now is trying to find a way to solve the problem. He believes that we are not facing, the changes going in the market is not about economic challenges. It's not even a response to economic demand. For him, it feels like it is speculative demand from people that are trying to speculate based on dollars, buying it and keeping it to sell at a higher value is what is causing this challenge. And the CBN has been, the president has permitted the CBN to change some of the policies, to implement some policies to stabilize the currency's current volatility. And one of the key issues that have been raised is the fact that we have a scarcity of dollar, and we have some policies that are not creating a level playing ground for everyone to still have access to the IE market. Bureau de change people don't have access to it. Then they also spoke about the fact that in flooding the markets, the money they need, because in the past few weeks, they've been selling between $60 million to $80 million, and that is still underperforming the amount of dollar we actually need within the official window. So I don't think the issue is that it's not non-economical. We actually do have a dollar crisis, and that is one of the reasons the price of Naira keeps dropping per day.
The Punch. CBN clamps down on speculators, restricts diaspora remittances. Ogun Kebbi customs seizes ammunition, petrol, and foreign rice. FG extradites siblings to U.S. for sexual extortion trial. Osho invokes no work, no pay for striking poly workers. Diesel price hits 950 naira per litre. Manufacturers fear job losses. NLC protests proposed fuel price hike, threatens fresh strike. And bandits allegedly down NAF, that's the Nigerian Air Force helicopter, kill 13 soldiers. Okay, which story are we starting in Punch?
I need to take the story of two siblings that are have been extradited or will be extradited to the United States to face trial for allegedly running a global sexual extortion operation leading to the death of a teenager, a U.S. teenager, Jordan DeMay. So the story is these two Nigerian brothers, Samuel and Samson Ogoshi. Samuel especially had reached out to this boy via social media through a hacked account, pretending to be a woman. In their conversation, had that boy send him some nude pictures, you know, and then eventually decided to blackmail him with it and said, I would, you know, show it to the world if you don't pay me a certain amount of money. The boy gives him $300, and that he said that's all he could afford. And this Samuel insisted that he must give him more money. And the boy says, I'm going to kill myself. He says, you better hurry up and do it, or I'll find a way to do it for you. This 17-year-old boy took a gun to his head and shot himself dead. That's how his family found him. FBI and thankfully also here in Nigeria, the Nigerian counterparts have been working hard, and they were able to find these boys. And they have been found guilty here in our Nigerian court and are going to be extradited.
Wow.
The U.S. is very happy with how swiftly we have helped them, you know, treat this case. But I also like what he said, that's the spokesperson for the U.S. says, sextortion is a horrible crime, said Tortion. And says, to those who commit these crimes, we will pursue you around the world. And to those who are victims, please know that we stand ready to help you. I took this story because we see all sorts of nonsense on our social media. You're in a relationship with someone, you take pictures, you post it on social media, you think you can get away with it. You get away with it here, but in the real world, it's a big crime. You know, you will get locked up for it. So young boys coming up, young girls coming up, be careful. You cannot just do anything. All the social media things that people think is a victimless crime, you can see what it can do to someone. A child just lost his life.
Still within Punch, let me take the story concerning NLC. So the Nigeria Labour Congress, led by the President Joe Ajaero, has said that they will commence on a nationwide strike without any formal notice if marketers increase the pump price of petrol without concluding the ongoing negotiations. This was said by the President, Joe Ajaero, and he was admonishing the federal government to stop the falling value of the Naira. However, the marketers said that the dealers who are seeking to import the petrol, the PMS, were being forced to put the plants on hold because, remember, we are hoping that once they open up the imports for more marketers, the price will eventually go cheaper. However, the importers are saying that they have to put the plants on hold due to the scarcity of foreign exchange to import the commodity. According to them, they said that the CBN importers and exporters official window for the foreign exchange, we boast about a lower rate of $740 to the Naira per litre, had remained illiquid and unable to provide the $25 million to $30 million required for the importation of the PMS by the dealer. So that's a problem. So 1 second, we're trying to get them to have more marketers import fuel. Unfortunately, they're not able to get the dollar they need to actually import the fuel from CBN. So it's just a crazy situation. However, NLC is saying that they will go on strike if the prices do go up as speculated in the market. Any other story in Punch?
Yeah, diesel prices have been speculated that it will be hitting 950 to the litre. And manufacturers are now scared that they will have to shut down. People are also scared that there will be job losses. The oil marketers on Monday had said that based on foreign exchange crisis in Nigeria, they are going to be implementing the recent implementation of 7.5 value-added tax on automotive gas oil, popularly called diesel. So they said that they are going to push the price of diesel to be between 900 and 950 per litre. And this is going to affect manufacturers because many of Nigerian manufacturing companies power their manufacturing plants with diesel. And they are already crying under the fact that dollar is going for almost 900 Naira. And to buy diesel, which is currently selling at 650, jumping to 900 to 950. They are also speculating that there will be job losses. There will be job loss as well as the impact of manufacturing companies shutting down. This is not good news at all. It's coming from many different manufacturing sub-committees. The textile manufacturers are saying that they cannot afford it at all. And also those that are into food manufacturing also say they cannot afford it at all because they can't push that cost into the products that they are manufacturing, and they might just have to shut down. They are complaining that if the refineries were working, it probably wouldn't be this hard. But there's a bit of good news, just to finish my previous CBN story, in that based on the current government's plan with the CBN, there will be an injection of dollar into the market, and they said it will crash the price of dollar and create losses for those that are speculating. So a word is enough for the wise. If you are hiding the money, quickly go and sell the money when you can still get value for it now. So,
still Punch?
Yes.
Okay.
Also invoked no work, no pay for striking poly workers. The Osun State government has invoked the no work, no pay rule, stating that the striking employees of the Osun State Polytechnic won't get paid. So there was a suspension of their rector, Dr. Tajuddin Odetayo, over alleged abuse of office and financial misappropriation. And so the employees decided to go on strike because of that. And the government went on to say that if they did not resume yesterday, they were going to implement the no work, no pay, but still, they didn't go to the office. And so the government is still hounding on that's what they're going to do going forward.
Daily Sun, moving on quickly now, military jet on rescue mission crashes. Tinubu has crushed expectations of Nigerians, says ex-APC National Vice Chair. Drug hawkers, fruit sellers killing Nigerians silently, says NAFDAC. FG raises flood alert in 19 states, 56 communities. FCC, we receive salaries without working, beneficiaries of job racketeering tells reps. Panic grips motorists over anticipated fuel price hike. And court orders CBN to pay 2.8 billion Naira to 313 reinstated staff of the Federal Union Mass. Okay, let me start with the major headline. So the military saying that the Nigerian Air Force yesterday had confirmed the crash of its MI-171 helicopter on a casualty evacuation mission in Niger State. Edward Gapquet, spokesperson of the NAF, in statement said that the helicopter crashed near Chukuba village in Shiroro local government of the state. He said the aircraft had departed Zungeru Primary School en route to Kaduna, but was later discovered in Chukuba village. Rescue mission efforts are currently ongoing to rescue the crew and passengers on board the helicopter, while preliminary investigation have commenced to determine the probable cause of the crash. Daily Sun?
Yes, I do. So it's NAFDAC. So the DG for NAFDAC at a media sensitization workshop in Bauchi has raised an alarm that drug hawkers, fruit sellers are endangering lives of Nigerians. And she says they're doing this how? So fake drugs. Nigerians are hawking fake drugs. Nigerians are buying them. Then fruits as well. The fruit sellers are ripening fruits using what she calls calcium carbide. And that's very dangerous to our health. She says also there's this thing called, I think she mentioned, she says bulk industrial food. So it's things like cereals, oats, milk, beverages. Usually they would give you like an import permit to bring all these things and you bring them in boxes, the retail boxes. But you find them in Nigerian markets, not in boxes, but we have them in sacks. Yes. In sacks. And so you buy your milk in mudus or cups and things like that. She says that we should stop doing that. We're doing that. There should be fear of contamination, you know. All these endanger our health, that they're doing their part to make sure that they're enforcing the law, they do market raids, but she's specifically calling on journalists and the media to help them be like the frontline fighters for this. Please help, she's saying, make this known, sensitize people, let them understand how bad this is for our health. Because they are marketing those things on social media. That you can buy your cereal instead of buying it in packs and it's expensive. They give you in bags.
So FG raises flood alerts in 19 states and 56 communities. National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has said that these communities are likely to experience heavy rainfall that can lead to flooding within the month. They include Delta, Ekiti, Ondo, Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Nasarawa, Kwara, Cross River, Bauchi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Zamfara, Benue, Abia, and I hope that the state government can actually do something ahead before the floods actually come, because we see it recurring every year and people have to move from their houses. I hope this year will be different following this notification by NEMA.
Okay. Please, I need to take this story. It's a We the People issue. So 14 people were receiving salaries without any job placement. It is still part of the investigation that the House of Rep is doing into the Federal Character Commission and the job racketeering that was taking place. So one person, his name was mentioned, Mr. Badamosi Jallo, said that Mr. Haruna Kolo, the former FCC IPPS desk officer, took him to the desk, enrolled his name on the platform, and he was collecting salary without any job appointment, without any office, and 14 others were doing the same as well. They said that later they got a letter issuing that they had gotten a position with the National Institute of Oceanography. You know how we have all those agencies that nobody's doing anything but are paying salaries. So, and he never worked, but he was getting paid, and he paid money into this Haruna Kolo, the former FCC IPPS desk officer's account to get the position for himself. Other 12 witnesses made the same thing, that they paid into Kolo's account. So I'd taken the story, so I was waiting for an update to see. I guess more victims are just coming out here.
You see, when we say cost of governance, this is part of it.
Yes, now. Not working.
It's part of our issues. There are people working, they're not getting, they're getting salaries, but they're not working. And then we say, oh, our budget is over bloated. But we mention somebody's salary, oh, he's collecting 30 million, forgetting that also we the people part of it. Also, we're also part of it.
It's like phoning money through.
But we need to talk about the updates. The IPPIS are being blamed that they have a porous system that would allow an individual to just be a desk officer to impute people without getting approval from other people.
It's not flagged if it's not followed.
Why do we have IPPIS? Why do we have ghost workers with IPPIS? Oh my gosh.
We have to move on. I think, okay, have we done Punch?
Yes, Vanguard now.
Let's find a story of Nordic. Edo begins virtual home classes for students on holiday. Herdsmen killed 2 teachers, injured 2 others in Plateau school. Naira slide as CBN moves to crack down speculators. Let's see. FG to revive list moribund government assets on stock exchange. 15 LASMA officials wounded in clash with soldiers as others abandoned duty posts. Niger coupists to prosecute oust President Bazoum for high treason. And 50 bandits, 13 military personnel killed in Niger state encounter.
Yeah, Plateau State again here. So 2 teachers have been confirmed killed, a vice principal and 1 other staff also seriously injured. So this is at Beko Comprehensive School, BECO, Kui in Riom local government area. They said what happened was a group of herdsmen brought in their cows to graze in the school compound. The security people were like, why would you do that, you know? And they tried to stop them. Other staff members too came to find out what was happening. And these herdsmen took out guns from their body and shot at them. And so we have 2 of them in hospital right now and another killed. So the police spokesperson said he had not heard about it. The school principal had confirmed that this attack actually happened, and those who are injured are in hospital, one at the Jos University Teaching Hospital, you know, receiving treatment. So I guess we will hear from government how they will address another incident of herdsmen versus
It's 9:32, people. We have to wrap up. Any other important stories, Adoro?
The Edo begins virtual home classes.
Sorry?
Edo is doing home classes.
Home classes through WhatsApp.
Because of petrol issue?
Yeah, they did it during COVID too, so I guess they're also
they have a structure.
They have a structure on ground already, so I guess...
And Lagos and Kwara also are doing the same thing.
Because of the petrol?
Eco-Excel.
Yes.
It's the same...
Kwara Learn.
Because of holiday.
Kwara Learn.
Oh,
So it's under the same technical partners. Edo Best, Eco-Excel, and Kwara. So it's under my people.
So it's the same machinery?
It's the same machinery, my new blue people. All right, let's go on a break. When we return, move on to the hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.